Now on the KJ Today Show, it's Josh Plasse. Hello, Josh Plasse.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
Hi, how's it going, KJ?
it's a it's a Friday. I'm excited to talk with you, and I'm just going to warn you that if you hear purrs, my 7-month-old kitten was having none of the door being shut, so she's sitting right here staring at the microphone just to purr away.
I love it. I love it. I will not be bothered.
Well, I know I had one of your fans tell me that you are a dog lover. So we'll be talking pets here in a little bit. But first, let's start off by talking about The Baxters. It is a show that has, really captured a lot of people's hearts. There's a lot of emotion in the show and sort of real messy but wonderful life happenings. How has this show been impactful for you?
Yeah, well said. I would say just that as well. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think it's doing so well because of exactly what you just said. It's allowing itself to be messy. So much faith-based content in the past has just been pretty bows and rainbows, and everything's great. And this one's not. So it's personally impacted me in the sense that obviously it's helped me in my career and in my life tangibly, but on an emotional and psychological level, I really identify with my character. And, he goes through a tragedy in life. I've seen some things in my life. And when you make content that ignores those, it's never going to resonate with anyone because it's just not
Mhm.
authentic. It's not real. It's, you know what I mean? So I think that for me, it resonates with me personally as well as psychologically. So the show's just been a really beautiful experience to be a part of.
When you are doing a role like this, Josh, at the end of the day, is it a little more emotionally exhausting for you?
Yeah, yeah. Um, everything's everything's different. Every role is different. They all come with their own exhaustion. When you're doing multi-camera comedy, you're gotta be huge all day long, and you're just big and exasperated and frankly ridiculous. When you're doing
Mhm.
action, you're doing stunt work all day. That's very rigorous physically. But dramas, specifically deep psychological dramas, yeah, they take something different out of you, something emotional, and that also affects your sort of brain capacity on the day. So yeah, you really do. You leave set and you're just like, why am I so tired right now?
Let's touch on, your personal journey. Your dad was a Navy SEAL, and I know there was a point where maybe you considered that the military would be your path as well. How did you end up, into this acting world?
Yeah, for sure. My dad was, and his father before him was a three-letter agency guy too. So I was definitely going to follow in their footsteps. I was studying Homeland Security and Criminal Justice over at Virginia Commonwealth University when I was a younger guy, doing a lot of sports, a lot of running and shooting, etc. And yeah, I had a mentor who became my first acting coach, who told me the quote that Hollywood is power. Washington is power, but Hollywood is influence. And I thought about that, the Washington being power, he was using as a metaphor for, military or life and doing that. And Hollywood being very influential on, just the American everyday life.
Mhm.
And I just ended up having kind of a change of heart there. And I was like, my goal is to create a platform from which I can spark positive change from and talk about issues and things that matter. And more importantly, hopefully impact those issues. So it wasn't that I felt like I could necessarily do more there versus a life in the military. It's just that it was different and I felt really, really called to it. I was so serious in my life for so long, training and getting ready for buds and other things that I just kind of lost who I actually was as a person. And once I ended up really, frankly, getting in the arts, it kind of forces you to find out who you are, to know your why, to know what you're about, and to be able to pull from, whether that be childhood experiences or past emotionalities of life. It really forces you to reconcile with who you are.
That's so inspirational. I think that resonates with a lot of us, especially I think we're in a time where people are realizing that it's, the job that pays the money isn't always the job that's going to bring you the happiness. And I wonder, how was the love and support of your family in coming from, a generational thing of being in the military, sitting down and saying, hey guys, I think I'm going to take a different route and go to Hollywood. How was that received?
Yeah. Ironically, they were extremely supportive. I had not really not maybe paid my dues isn't the right way, but I was ready. So they knew it was an authentic change of heart, and they were incredibly supportive. And like I said, there's in my opinion, there's really nothing more honorable or amazing than joining the service and defending your country. So that's not to say that I've made the right decision or wrong or in any way. It just wasn't where my heart was at the time. And my dad was extremely supportive. And in fact, as I've kind of said in the past, I've been able to take a lot of what I learned from that world and implement it into the psychology of this one, and kind of understanding that grim reality and harshness of what that life entails, and the compartmentalization of certain issues. I think that's what really helped me grow as an artist and as an actor.
And you mentioned, that quote that changed your life. Washington is power, Hollywood is influence, and you're living that. Would you share a little bit about your passion and what you're doing, helping veterans, and in particular, your work to end military suicide?
Yeah, of course. I'm only just getting started in where I am, but I did do something called Operation 22. If anyone wants to go look that up, they're welcome to on my social media page. It's Josh Plasse. And we did a really, really wonderful campaign. We ran 22 miles a day for 22 days straight with a 22-pound rucksack, obviously all very metaphorical and symbolic of the 22 veterans who died by suicide per day. That's a pretty conservative statistic from the DOD. Most reports suggest. So that's just, crazy when you really think about that number per day in this country. So we ended up going out and not only spreading the word and awareness through lots of views. I had a camera crew follow me during the event, but we also were able to raise $22,000, ironically, on the 22nd day. We hit that amount, gave it all back to a company. Yeah, it was incredible, and gave it all back to a company called Stop Soldier Suicide. So if anyone has a heart for veteran suicide, please look them up. Stop Soldier Suicide. They're incredible. You can give in any way, even if it's your time, not from your wallet. So yes, could not recommend them enough. That's who we did the campaign for, and I'm really proud of it.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for everything that you're doing for veterans. That's near and dear to my heart as well. And now let's get to something that is near and dear to your heart. It was actually Lacey, who's a big fan here in Indy, and she follows you on Instagram. And she tipped me off that you're a dog lover, and we'll post pictures sometime. So let's talk about how pets have had a positive impact on your life.
That is so funny. I'm going to have to try to look Lacey up. Tell her thank you. Yes, my pets have changed my life. Oh, man. I've got two dogs. One, I've got a husky named Jack, who's just crazy and out of his mind. He's 5. And then we just recently adopted, I'm not actually positive. We haven't done DNA work, but I think he's a pit bull German Shepherd mix. His name is Teddy, and he is a sweetheart. These dogs have changed my life in every way. It's kind of like being a parent, obviously not the same given the struggles of real parenthood, but it's tough. It's tough having 2 big dogs. They changed a lot. I actually moved partially on their behalf. I ended up moving out of Los Angeles to a place where, I live in Nashville at the moment, and we've got 2 acres out here fenced in, so they get to just run around and live and love their life. So they've literally relocated me. They've changed me as a man. They've really helped me grow my patience. I'll say that. all the silliness. Oh man, no, I just love them. We're getting ready to go get some pup cups right now from Dutch Bros. So they're living the good life.
I love that, and those are some high energy dogs that you got there, especially Huskies. It takes a special person to keep up with those dogs. So God love you for doing it.
Thank you. Yes, I won't deny that. That's one thing I'll accept always. I run these boys too much every day. So thanks for that. Yeah, they're the best. I'll start posting more content with them. It sounds like people love it.
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, man, I grew up with cats and dogs. I work in rescue right now. There's 7 cats in our house right now. And I always say, people don't follow me for me; they follow me for my cats.
I believe it. That's gold. 7 cats. Good on you. You're in a similar boat to me.
Yes, yes. Well, listen, Josh, there was one more thing I wanted to hit on. You moved to Nashville, and Tennessee is a great place for whiskey, and of course, we're here in Indianapolis, and you can take the Bourbon Trail right up to visit us. Let's hit on some of those favorite whiskeys, because I actually have an event I'm working on called Whiskey and Whiskers in July. And I need to make sure I have the best whiskeys there to raise money for ARPO, my animal organization.
No way. I love it. Okay. All right. Jefferson's Ocean, aged at sea. That's probably my favorite. It's a really unique bottle. And they all come with a number, an ID number from the voyage. So you can look up online where that voyage has traveled, where they're actually aging the barrels at sea. So they all come with their own little story. I highly recommend them. I also love Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is really good.
Okay.
And then I have two days. Let's start with those two. Bring those in. Maybe Blanton's.
Okay.
I would add Blanton's. I just picked up myself.
We have Blanton's. We got Blanton's is in already.
Good. Okay, great. Then add those other two. They're strong and good whiskey.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. It has been such a pleasure to talk with you, and we will continue to enjoy the Baxters on Prime Video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and give a little love to those pups for me.
The same to you. I appreciate it. Will do.
Thanks for joining us for another celebrity interview. Of course, the KJ Today Show isn't just about talking to celebs, it's about hanging out with you. Join us live on Wednesday nights for pop culture, people to know, and pets. The KJ Today Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch live Wednesday nights at 7.